There's a golf club, more specifically a 9-iron, that has been sitting in my closet for almost 2 years now. I'm not a golf player. I never was, and I don't think I ever will be. But I'll never be able to let go of it. I never had a grandfather because my grandfather on my mother's side passed before my parents were even married, and my grandfather on my father's side passed about a year after I was born, so I never got to meet the two of them. However, my grandmother on my father's side knew a wonderful man named Jerry Oster. This tribute goes to the late Jerry, who up until 2 years ago showed me the joys of having a grandfather. The fun stories, the future lessons, and altogether the care that comes from another family member. Whenever I would visit my grandmother, he was always there and always willing to tell me or entertain me with his stories, usually from his childhood in Brooklyn to the time he served in the U.S. Army patrolling the Berlin Wall. Interesting fact, he actually patrolled the Berlin Wall with Elvis Presley and actually got to meet him. So I thought that was a cool tidbit of information. So many of his stories had stuck with me, and I still remember all of them. Along with his stories were many lessons that he taught me. Usually I learned from his rants after reading the Sunday paper, but also just from his years of experience. His years on the earth have taught him to be optimistic and kind to everyone, which I still strive to be, and I'm glad that I got the chance to meet him for that. It was also his kind heart and his optimism that made him such a caring person, as he showed me so much care like an actual grandfather. Something to keep in mind was that he actually had his own grandkids, but he still treated me as his own. When I was visiting my grandmother, he would always make sure to spend time with me and my sister as much as he could, and oftentimes he would actually take me golfing with him. I sucked at golfing, seriously, and at some point he actually just made me his caddy, which would just be the person to carry his golf clubs around. But it didn't matter to me because I still enjoyed the time spending with him. And I got to drive the golf cart. But up until 2 years ago, I was visiting my grandmother in the Bay, and he handed me a golf club. It was actually his own 9-iron that he played with. I didn't understand why he gave it to me, and I questioned him, but he said with a smile, "You will learn." That was the last time I ever saw him. He passed away 2 days later in his sleep. Thank you, Jerry, for the memories, the lessons, and being the grandfather that I never had. And maybe I should go try out that golf club. In fact, here it is, his own 9-iron. So, thank you.